Coach Matlock, the baseball season starts this weekend. Ring that bell! Woo! The UTRGV Coaches Show starts now. Oh, if Derek Matlock's in the house, baseball season must almost be here.
Man, it drives nice. I'm gonna give me one of these.
All right, let's go get it.
All right.
Welcome to the UTRGV Coaches Show at North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. I'm Jonah Goldberg. This is UTRGV baseball head coach Derek Matlock. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Baseball season starts this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. UTRGV plays host to George Washington at UTRGV Baseball Stadium. How excited are you, Coach?
Very excited. It's been a long time waiting to get back on the field and play another team, and the kids have worked really, really hard. It's going to be fun to get back going again on Friday.
You haven't played a real game, non-inter-squad, since late May. That is a long wait, especially when that last game, you were fighting for a WAC tournament championship, came up a little bit short, and I'm sure that ever since then you've wanted nothing more than to get back on the field.
That's what's so nice about baseball is we play Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you lose a Tuesday game, you got a 2-day wait to grind it out and wear it until you can get back on the field and get a win. And then, of course, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can get back on the field the next day and get that bad taste out of your mouth. But losing in the championship game in that tight one-run game late leaves a bad taste in your mouth. So you spend the whole off season going over things and what could we have done better, and now we're just ready to get started and play somebody in another color.
Well, you'll get that opportunity on Friday with a team that's both new and old all at the same time. You've got a number of returners, you've got a strong mix of newcomers. So what can you tell us about your squad?
Well, I'll tell you what, the pitching staff is old. Everybody's back. We lost Kevin Palm, which was a great middle guy, but we replaced him with Aldez Jesus, who was Tommy John guy last year and had to sit out. And a lot of other mixes to kind of fill in that staff to make it a little deeper. And then, of course, the position players, we lost some unbelievable players with Atwood, Sepulveda, Grubbs, Alexander, Diaz. That's rough. That's a lot of great players, but we filled them in with a lot of great old player transfers. Burroughs from Kansas State, Pimentel from Mississippi State, Sturgis from Texas A&M, Cam Blake from Texas A&M. So we kind of reset ourselves where we're still pretty old, and that's exciting to be old because college at-bats for a hitter is important, and we got a lot of them in that lineup.
Brandon Pimentel is the guy I want to ask you about. He played on College World Series champion Mississippi State last year. Now he's here enlisted as one of the top prospects to watch in the WAC coming up for the coming MLB draft. What are we going to see from him?
Well, he's going to be in left field or first base. He can do them both. He's a very talented defender, and he's an outstanding offensive player. I mean, he's a left-handed hitter. He can stay late and drive the ball the other way. He can run the ball the ballpark from foul pole to foul pole. And he's just a calm, confident kid, very experienced, mature. He's really fun to watch carry himself. He's a professional.
And it's great that he can play two different positions because by my count, you have somewhere in the vicinity of like 8 outfielders for 3 spots, all of whom are capable of starting, and then De La Cruz at first. So you're going to have some fun.
It won't be hard. The kids always say that to me. The catching part is probably the toughest. There's some guys that it really did. Sturgis, we moved him back there. That's where he was coming out of high school, and he hadn't played there since. You got Ochoa, who had a great year last year. Then you had a freshman from California that has been better than all of them this early spring. I think he's had like 15 hits, a couple homers, a couple doubles. So that's the part that's going to be hard on us. But we need to be able to rest back there. We've had to really grind guys out back there. We've always been kind of speed up. But those other positions have worked themselves out. I just think the catching part's getting hard on me with only about 4 days until we start. So it's going to be tough on me there.
Outfield, catcher, super deep positions. One of the outfielders back, Freddie Rojas Jr. He 9 home runs last year. He's your leading returning home run hitter. What are we going to see from him this year?
I think he's going to have an opportunity to put together a more consistent year over time because of his experience. He's got the most power, no doubt. And when he's staying through the ball, he's a really hard out. He's worked hard on his defense on going back. That's been one of his struggles, and he's worked hard. But he's got a chance to have an All-American year. No doubt, he has the ability to do it.
Well, we saw spurts, 2-time National Player of the Week last year. He hit home runs in 6 consecutive games, just a couple shy of the NCAA record. So we certainly know what he's capable of there. And your team offensively a year ago led the WAC in scoring. And yeah, you lost some big bats, but based on some of the guys you're talking about right now, I have a feeling you have a chance to lead the WAC in scoring again.
Well, Friday night's inter-squad against Kevin Stevens, I think he gave up a 2-run homer and then another homer after the announcements of him being the preseason WAC Pitcher of the Year or whatever. So this game's kind of humbling, but I was looking at that offense, watching that offense roll, and you're like going, holy cow, it's got a chance. It's just staying in their approach with Coach Raley really gets after them, and they got a chance to be special.
And we barely touched your infield. You get a full year of Diego Ramirez now after he missed the middle of the year with injury last year.
Yeah, and he's a special player. He hit 340 going into Grand Canyon before he got hit in the face, had surgery. 7 weeks later, he's back on the field, and we talked in the office like, is this kid ever going to is he going to play again? Is he going to be scared of the ball? And then I think he hit 345 on the back end of the season. So he's a special defender, special offensive player. It's going to be fun. He's an exciting kid to watch.
Well, and then on the mound, I mean, Kevin Stevens, right? Here's the guy who's flirted with no-hitters 4 times in his career, preseason WAC Pitcher of the Year. If he does what we know he can do, he should have that award at the end of the year. And is it possible that he's gotten better this year?
I think so. I think he's better. I think just experience, age. He's throwing the ball harder now. The first inter-squad out of the box, he didn't come off 94, 95 miles an hour. But he's kind of settling in now. He was up to 4, but threw some 2s and 3s. But, you know, I think he's experienced. I think he's been through it now, a full season, because the year before was just a COVID year, a short year. So I think he's got some experience. I'm excited to see him. It's going to be a good way to start the week, and he needs to go out and get the win and get the tone and give us a chance to win the series.
And then the rest of your rotation, I know you're still trying to figure that out. And, you know, pretty much all your starters from last year are back, with the exception of Palm, as you mentioned. You know, Max Balderrama Jr., Colton Davis, J.C. Ariza, who all started for you for a good portion of the season. Derek Cervantes, who started down the stretch, including in the WAC tournament. And then, of course, you got newcomers like Angel Cabral and Alex Verdugo, the UNLV transfer. Good luck.
Yeah. Well, I think we've kind of settled into this weekend coming, just the way things just rolled out. We're going to stack 2 long guys, Kevin and Aldez on Friday, Colton Davis and Balderrama on Saturday. And the way Bridges is going long, kind of pushing Bridges into a palm roll instead of back, because he's kind of holding velo and he's getting more field. So I think we're going to go JC and Bridges, 2 long guys on the Sunday. So those 6 guys are going to pitch. And then, of course, the Ricky Jerricks, the Chalmers, the Kisners. We'll try to match up Fernandez from Temple Junior College is coming and throwing lights out this early. So we'll kind of, hopefully we throw about 8 or 9 guys. That'd be a great weekend for us.
So you mentioned Chase Bridges, more of a long guy this year. We've seen him with his Raleigh Fingers mustache coming out, ready to save games the last few years. So who do you think we'll see in the back end?
I think it'll work itself out as we get through this thing. I don't think it's really important to stick a closer on the back. Let's let some guys run the game, and if whoever's available, let's go put the best arm in the game. And I think it'll roll itself out over the first 2 to 3 to 4 weeks. But those 6 guys have thrown really, really good. They're impressive stuff. They're 90-mile-an-hour guys with good secondary. So we're going to try to get a bunch of guys spread out in there. Then we got 5 games the next week with Houston and Southern, and then Texas State on the midweek. So we need to have some length in there. But I would like to throw less guys. When we were on the best pitching staffs that we've ever had at Texas State, TCU, and West Virginia, we didn't throw but like 12, 14 guys. We get caught throwing 20, 21 guys, and we need to get away from that. The more the guys throw, the better they are. If you can not wear them out, but get them worked, then they seem to be better. Anytime you see a guy come in like, oh, he hadn't been in for a while, it usually doesn't work out. So we're going to try to be a little bit smaller on our numbers on the mound.
George Washington this weekend. It's the first time these two programs have ever faced off in baseball. What can you tell us about them?
Well, I tell you what, they've had 6 guys playing the Cape, and they have a Friday night starter that's up to 94 with a plus changeup. And they got other pitchers too. They got a good staff. They got a great program. Anytime that a school's $70,000 to go to school at, you're probably going to run in there some pretty good academic kids that want to play baseball and get that great education. I've heard rumors of their hitters being just outstanding at staying late, really hard to strike out. So it's going to be a good test for us right off the bat, and that's what we want. So we're excited for them to get in here.
Opening night, Friday, 7 p.m. The party actually starts as early as 5 p.m. if you're an alum. There's an alumni mixer. There's going to be music. You want to come at 5 o'clock to the stadium. Everybody else, gates are going to be open 6 o'clock. Come on in, because there's so much going on. There's going to be our Hall of Fame and Hall of Induction class and Hall of Honor induction class from this year. They're going to be there. They're going to throw out ceremonial first pitches. Our 1971 College World Series team, they're going to be here all weekend. We're going to honor them, and there's a special surprise for them. Can't tell you what it is yet, but you're going to want to be there to see what that surprise is. And of course, there's the post-game fireworks celebration presented by the city of Edinburgh. And not only will they have fireworks after the game, but don't tell anybody, there are going to be fireworks during the after the national anthem as well.
Nice.
So just be ready for that. That's between you and me, okay? It's going to be a nice, fun surprise for everybody. So get your tickets now, UTRGVtickets.com, and we will see you at UTRGV Baseball Stadium this weekend, Friday at 7, Saturday at 1, and Sunday at 12.
Awesome.
Coach Matlock, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
The UTRGV Coaches Show rolls on with men's basketball head coach Matt Figger in a moment. This is the UTRGV Coaches Show from North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley.
In the minute it takes to knock back your drink, spot your new crush, or cheer on the home team, you could do something that really makes a difference. Sign up as an organ donor. In less than a typical timeout, you could sign up to save 8 lives. It sure beats using a minute to mustard that hot dog. Sign up at tosa1.org.
The Rio Grande Valley is growing every day. That's why you need a team you can trust. 2 stations, 2 languages.
Se le pide a cualquier persona con información.
The most experienced news anchors in the valley.
And Andina Herrera Garza.
The largest weather team keeping you informed in English.
Track the front updates forecast.
Y en español.
Te le voy a estar explicando un poco más de eso.
A sports team covering the RGV like no one else.
What this win means.
We're live in the morning, at noon, and in the evenings. Anytime you need us, we're online and on social media too. We do this all in both languages.
We are tracking breaking news.
Nosotros estamos aquí para platicarles cómo.
Who else can deliver this type of coverage?
Tonight at 10 in the meantime, have a great evening.
No one. Channel 5 News
And Azteca Valle.
working together for you.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Now hiring awesome crew. Apply at workatcanes.com.
TownePlace Suites by Marriott, Edinburgh's newest destination spot and a host hotel of UTRGV Athletics, with the amenities that a frequent long-stay traveler or visiting team in town to take on the V-Nation looks for. The nightlife is amplified with Ignite Lounge, a great way to wrap up a long workday or celebrate a big win. TownePlace Suites by Marriott on Trenton in between Business 281 and Sugar Road and minutes away from the excitement of UTRGV. TownePlace Suites by Marriott, Edinburgh.
I got mine.
I've got mine.
I've got mine.
I got mine.
I got mine.
I've 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 got mine. I got mine. Go Vaqueros.
I've got mine.
I've got mine. Go Vaqueros.
Coach Matlock, head baseball coach, UTRGV. Baseball's getting close, man. Get your season tickets now before they sell out. UTRGVtickets.com. V's up.
Coach, did you drive all the way back from California?
Sunshine and Lexuses, baby. That's what I'm rolling in.
That's the way
all
to
the way
do
back
it.
from Cali.
Nice. Let's go do a coach's show.
Let's go get it.
It's the UTRGV Coaches Show from North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. I'm Jonah Goldberg. We're joined by UTRGV men's basketball head coach Matt Figger. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Jonah, thank you for having me again, man.
Coach, are you awake? You just got back from the West Coast. Any jet lag?
Not yet. I mean, we flew on the midnight flight out of California. Got back into the valley about 8:30 in the morning on Sunday. So it was good to sleep in a bed, actually.
Well, good. I'm glad you got that opportunity. Games this past week out at Seattle, at California Baptist. Both of them ended up being fairly tight games. What were your thoughts on the two games you saw this week?
You know, Jonah, I've sat here in these coaches shows with you before. Win or lose, a lot of times it's been the latter of the two. But this week, and we are, you know, when you start talking about things that happen to your team and everything, I know there weren't wins, and there's no such thing as moral victories. But I was happy with my guys the way, still given the circumstances that we can't practice because we don't have enough guys. Just the way that we're getting better. It's not there's some things that aren't showing on the scoreboard, but I'm generally happy with the fact that I felt like we went out and played the team that's been number one all year in the league. And they stubbed their toe on the road at Grand Canyon and New Mexico, but I felt like we played as well defensively as we played all year. Defensively, we played well enough to win that game. It was the lack of, we shot 37 free throws. We left 14 on the table. Self-inflicting turnovers. You just couldn't buy a basket. We were, I think, 9 of 28 on layups. So our offense was, and that's due to the fact that we don't ever get to play live offense 5-on-5. Game time is when we get to do it. But I was really happy with the fact that I felt like if we had played like that throughout the course of the year, there would have been a lot of games that we would have probably tasted victory instead of defeat. And, it carried over down to Cal Baptist. I felt like we're tied at halftime. They've got a really good team. They had some share of lumps. They had injuries themselves. Their point guard, who is phenomenal. He's been picked by some people as being the best point guard in college basketball as a freshman. I felt like we put ourselves in a good place. We lost that game to start the second half. We had, I think, 3 turnovers and 4 missed free throws to start the first 4 minutes. And we went in the locker room tied at 34, saying, guys, this is the critical part of the game. We got it. And it wasn't for lack of trying. And we didn't quit. We had fight in us to the bitter end. And I walked away. I never take moral victories, but I walked away and said, you know what, our team's getting better, and having some pieces back, just having Dante Houston back, who's not played in a conference game until this week, made a difference from his presence inside. And so I felt like going forward there was positive things to take from the trip.
Yeah, Houston hadn't played since December 17th, I think it was, at UTSA. And getting him back, that gives you some front court depth now.
He's still not 100%, not close. But probably should have, in all actuality, he probably should have set the rest of the season. But that's dedication to the kid who's committed to the program. He's not near 100%. You don't have injuries like that and come back and just, pick things up and go. But he gave us the best minutes he could. He gave us a presence. Raquan Taylor has given us everything a freshman at that position could possibly give. He's always, yes, sir. And, he's playing on a bad ankle. Justin Johnson played both games with an attitude of winning, and sometimes the scoreboard says one thing, but I also know I know the difference between competing and losing, and we competed.
Raquan Taylor in the first about 22 games of the year, he had hit double figures in rebounds once, the 19 against Corpus Christi back in December. Last 3 games, though, all on the road, 12-plus rebounds every single game.
I give that credit to just him every day getting better. We got to a point in the season, and now all coaches have to make these decisions. And you got to take winning and losing out of the equation. You got to have growth from your young players. After we got to a certain point in the season, I said, I've got to let Ray play through mistakes. He's got to earn it, but he's got to get more. He's got to get more looks and more opportunity. And so I made that decision, and he's doing the best he's getting with opportunity.
Justin Johnson has been an elite scorer all year. He kind of took it to another level on Saturday. 38 points.
I said this to one of my coaches. I said, I think maybe only one other time in my career. That's untrue. I've had a couple times. But most of the time when you get an individual performance like that, somehow your team wins. We weren't able to. I did that. Jacob Pullen did score 38 in an NCAA tournament game we lost. Michael Beasley scored 45 in a Big 12 game we lost. So I have been a part of a couple of games that guys' individual performances. Kids give you everything they got, put you in a position to win. That game against Cal Baptist, he did everything he could. We're 3 of 16 from the three-point line, and again, it's 11 free throws. Free throws have been our enemy on the road. We got to the line a lot, and we played in maybe the hardest environment since Illinois, playing there. A lot of those things took shape and came out on the short end. But I just told the kids after the game, forget about everything else. Just stay in the moment, day to day, and take care of those things. So we're going to try to get better this week.
So right now, the first time this show airs, Wednesday at 8:30. So probably in the second half against Seattle U, after seeing them just 6 days prior on the road. So if I were to open up the live stats right now and see UTRGV's winning, what do you think has gone right and changed from the last game to make that happen?
Well, we just played better offense because we did an unbelievable job guarding their 2 guards, Trammell and number 5. Name slipped my mind right now. But we did a good job of guarding those 2 guys as anybody's done all year. And they've had big games a lot. And we just had to play better offense.
Then Saturday, 7 p.m., UTRGV plays host to Sam Houston. That game at Bert Ogden Arena, it's the exclamation point on homecoming week. How excited are you for homecoming in Bert Ogden Arena?
Yeah, I'm excited to have another chance to play a really good team. I felt like another game, we were coming out of COVID protocol. First game of the year on the road at their place. We either was tied or led for most of the first half in that game. Again, it's a chance to redeem ourselves. And they've had a good season. They're competing for. We've got 2 teams that have been competing for league championships coming in this week, and it's big for all of us because it's big for them because that's 2 more road games that they've got to get wins and compete for a title, and obviously they're competing for seeding. But we could put ourselves in a solid place ourselves as far as getting into the WAC tournament.
UTRGV hosts Sam Houston. That's Saturday, 7 p.m. at Bert Ogden Arena. Get your tickets now at bertogdenarena.com. Matt Figger, head coach of the UTRGV men's basketball team. Thanks for joining us.
John, thanks for having me.
UTRGV Coaches Show rolls on in a moment from North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley.
Fans, welcome back to WAC Vegas. As we celebrate more than a decade of madness at the Orleans Arena, the 2022 Hercules Tires WAC Basketball Tournament, March 9th through the 12th. In this year, there are even more games to watch, with 20 teams in Las Vegas. For ticket information, go to wacsports.com.
We all want the best for our families, to love, to laugh, to live a healthy life. At UT Health RGV, we believe every family should have access to the most advanced medical care right here, close to home. With over 100 board-certified doctors at 20 locations valley-wide, with life-saving procedures and treatments that keep you and your family healthy, UT Health RGV is here for you. High-quality care for every patient, for every family. Find your way to the best care at uthealthrgv.org.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
There's a magic to the Rio Grande Valley and to this university. We are champions in the arena, in the halls, and in our communities. The Valley's pride. The Valley's future. The Valley's University.
Support. Some call it the foundation of success. Joining the V Club assists in the success of our student athletes. Preparing our student athletes for excellence in life.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the UTRGV Coaches Show. We'll be back with you next week and every week, Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. with a special re-air Sundays at 1:30 on Somos El Valle, channel 5.3, cable 1241. Missed an episode? Want to watch this one again? Then check out archive shows on our YouTube channel at goutrgv.com/coaches show. Big thanks to UTRGV baseball head coach Derek Matlock and men's basketball head coach Matt Figger for joining us this week. We'll be back next week with Coach Matlock and women's basketball head coach Lane Lord. But for now, this is Jonah Goldberg saying so long from North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. This has been the UTRGV Coaches Show. Get your visa.